weekend, big back-to-school changes in the Osseo district as high schools prepare for the addition of ninth graders. Then, can what your office looks like impact the final product?
For us, it's an investment in the future.
One company thinks so and made some changes. But first, planning for more gridlock.
I couldn't imagine how much longer it's going to take with construction going on.
Motorists will find out soon enough. 12 News Weekend starts right now. Well, thanks for joining us. In a summer filled with major road construction projects all over the metro, MnDOT announced this week that even more is on the way.
Major improvements are set to begin next year on Highway 169, and drivers throughout the West Metro will feel the impact. On any given day, thousands of cars drive on Highway 169 to get from point A to point B.
Right now I drive from Shakopee up to here in Golden Valley.
For Shakopee resident James Annunciacion, point B is General Mills, where he's worked for nearly 2 years.
It takes roughly anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes during rush hour, so I couldn't imagine how much longer it's going to take with construction going on.
It's something he'll have to think more about over the course of the next year because his route to work on 169 will undergo major repairs. Starting next fall, MnDOT will close this bridge over 9 Mile Creek in Hopkins. That closure will last for an entire year, which means that drivers are going to have to look for alternatives.
Yeah, that's definitely something I need to look more into, is looking at what are the routes can I come up from the south to get where I need to be.
Question about the schedule.
People brought similar concerns with them to a MnDOT open house Wednesday night.
There is a project website to be updated throughout the project.
Some people didn't exactly welcome the news with great fanfare.
That's what I was hoping to talk to somebody about, just see if they have any other alternatives other than closing it totally.
Others say finishing it in 1 year is better than 3 years.
Yeah, I would just soon get it all done. You know, if you're going to do it fast.
Doing it fast is one silver lining, but MnDOT also offered up another one Wednesday night.
The full closure would only happen when we have removed the lane restrictions on 494 and Highway 100.
A bit of welcome news for commuters who've dealt with a summer of gridlock.
Especially living in Minnesota, I think road construction is a necessary evil.
MnDOT officials say the project will improve driver safety, make the roads smoother, and create a longer lasting bridge.
Hennepin County investigators have cleared a Robbinsdale police officer who shot and injured a woman armed with a knife back on April 16th. It was a case where some residents said too much force was used. A bystander used a cell phone to record the aftermath of an officer-involved shooting in the 3700 block of Hubbard Avenue in April. After a sheriff's office investigation, police say Sergeant Thomas Rothfork acted appropriately when he shot 18-year-old Tania Harris. Today, police released pictures taken from a police car's video camera. The first picture shows a woman brushing past the officer. Police say she was fleeing a woman who had just come out of the apartment building yelling threats and carrying a knife. The second picture shows Harris a few feet from the officer, still holding the knife, even though police say she had been told to drop it. When she got within 5 to 10 feet of the officer, Sergeant Rothfork fired twice, hitting Harris in the abdomen. Police say it all happened in a matter of 5 to 6 seconds. Harris survived her injuries and was charged with second-degree assault. A trial date is set for September 21st. Hennepin County authorities say the shooting was justified under state law, which allows officers to use deadly force to protect the officer or someone else from death or great bodily harm. And Sergeant Rothfork is a 20-year veteran of the force.
In our week in review, residents near a Robbinsdale lake were concerned when rain washed cement grout into a lake. They saw the white liquid floating into Lower Twin Lake from a storm sewer. The Joint Water Commission released a statement saying the grout came from a project to repair a water pipeline. They said it was accidentally allowed to enter a storm sewer, causing a discharge into the lake. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency is investigating. Golden Valley's west side will soon be home to a new home for developmentally disabled people. Tuesday, the City Council approved plans for a 45-unit apartment complex called Cornerstone Creek. The development would replace a vacant home and office building. It's one of several projects slated for Golden Valley Road near the Plymouth border. Construction is expected to begin in the fall once the city approves a financing package. And New Hope is awaiting the opening of a new clinic. North Memorial Healthcare is building a new family practice clinic clinic at 42nd and Xylon Avenues next to the Hy-Vee grocery store, which is also under construction. It's moving from the Rockford Road location in Plymouth, which North Memorial officials say wasn't very visible to patients. The new clinic opens in February.
The addition of all-day kindergarten last year means some big changes this year in the Osseo School District. As Alexandra Rensel reports, building expansions and renovations are one change. Moving ninth graders to the high schools is another.
There's changes abound from teachers to students.
At Osseo High School,
Getting close, getting close.
new principal Michael Lehan knows there will be adjustments for both students and teachers.
We take pride in who we are. What we're really investing is Osseo excellence.
Come September 9th.
Very excited, very excited. It's going to be a whirlwind. It absolutely will be. This is going to house some of our math wing.
The construction work on a 2-story addition and 6 new classrooms will accommodate about 500 additional students as 9th grade moves into the high school.
This was an opportunity to add on to our 3 high schools, move 9th grade to the high schools, so we have a high school under one roof.
This used to be the cafeteria. Now, what we did is we added some extra lockers here, just obviously to accommodate the additional students.
At all 3 Osseo District high schools, the addition of 9th grade
Soon enough, this is going to be a completed space where some of our staff members are going to be able to support our students' needs.
means the total school enrollment will range from around 1,900 students at Osseo and Park Center to 2,200 students at Maple Grove.
There is some finishing work that's going on right now as we speak. In fact, our contractors are even working weekends to make sure that we get everything ready.
As construction work wraps up for the start of school, half of the student body, freshmen and sophomores, will be brand new to high school.
I mean, I'm new to it. I'm new to Osseo, but I like it. It's good. Better for the school, better for the 9th graders.
New principal Michael Lehan knows there will be adjustments for both students and teachers come September 9th.
We're going to make the best out of it, and it's going to be a tremendous year.
And moving ninth graders to the high school means middle school will be grades 6 through 8. Well, coming up on 12 News Weekend, it's not your average office space. We'll see why a Plymouth company has changed its environment.
And later in sports, Totino Grace is ready to take on all challengers this football season.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast.
Well, does the design and look of a workplace affect the end result?
It's a good question, and as Alexandra Rensel reports, a Plymouth engineering company made a significant investment in its office design as a way to grow business.
We wanted to make it look like us.
Inside the walls of this Plymouth engineering firm, the corrugated metal and cafe-style space tell a story of this company.
But we made a very strategic decision that we wanted to make our office a better place to work.
The design of this office, take for example the large metal truss hanging above, or the display of grains and commodities, all represents the engineering, planning, and design work this company does for clients such as General Mills, Target, and Cargill in the agribusiness, industrial, and building markets.
We do really solid work, and that was the idea here, is that we would show that image.
The office also represents a story about its workforce. When VAA moved into this space 2 years ago, they worked with their employees and RSP architects to design workstations that encourage collaboration, places to gather, look at plans, and work together.
And it's a great space because people can come from anywhere and just be there.
Our best assets walk out the door every single day to go home to their families. And so if they're not happy, if they're not excited to be at work, we're not going to get the best out of them.
Retaining and attracting good employees is key, and spaces such as a game room with ping pong and foosball help do the trick.
It can be a pretty stressful job at times, so come in here and blow some steam off and go have some fun.
In less than 10 years, this company has more than doubled in size to more than 130 employees. As VAA grows along with the agribusiness industry, this company's office represents a significant investment in its employees and in its business.
For us, it's an investment in the future.
Alexandra Renslow reporting there. Well, coming up, we'll tell you about a young man who has already been working toward the Olympic Games for years.
Then meet an Osseo man who is making the calls on the lacrosse field. That's all coming up in sports with Jay Wilcox.
Jay Wilcox with sports. I guess the question is, can Totino Grace play with the bigger schools? And they've already answered that last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they've been proving it all the way, and it looks like they will again this year. We're going to have a good year for football in the area, too. The Totino Grace football team will again compete in Class 6A, opting up 2 classes above their school's enrollment. As John Jacobson reports in their training camp report, the Eagles are looking forward to the challenge.
The Eagles were so close to winning it all last season, falling by a single point to Eden Prairie in the Prep Bowl, as EP won its 4th straight state championship. The Totino guys are back at work this summer, minus some big playmakers who graduated a year ago. And guess who they face in this weekend's season opener?
We know Eden Prairie is a great team, and they got some great competitors, and we're ready to play them. We want to play, and we want to have some fun, and we know it's going to be a great game. I get calls, and I get people coming up to me. You play for Totino Grace. We're right behind you too. We're supporting you.
Somebody asked why do you opt up 2 classes? You could probably compete in 4A or 5A, and it's just so much fun. It just seems like the appropriate place to be, and we think we can compete with Eden Prairie, and we're looking forward to it.
Coach Jeff Ferguson says numbers are down a little in the program, meaning the Eagles won't possess as much depth as in years past. But Grace should be able to run the ball well again this year, with Gayflor Flomo and fullback Brady Bertram likely to carry the load. Hayden Lacey returns at offensive guard, while two-way starter Lewis Kidd should be one of the top linemen in the area, and Charlie Waters leads the linebacking core.
We're seeing a great improvement. Through the summer was great. We had a good off season. The smaller guys are looking really good.
We got some good backs who run hard. They were working hard. I think we understood that we're going to lose some seniors, we're going to lose some competitors, but I think the people that needed to step up have stepped up so far.
When the air turns cold in the fall, it always seems like Totino Grace is right there with the state's top teams. A tough regular season schedule should have the Eagles playoff ready. John Jacobson, 12 Sports.
The Eagles were 12-2 last year, giving Jeff Ferguson a great career record of 150-18. 5 starters return on offense and 6 on defense. Again, they're taking on Eden Prairie Saturday evening. The Minnesota State High School League is making a push to get more people involved in officiating. This summer, we've featured residents of the northwest suburbs who make the calls so the young athletes at all levels can play the games. Here's our final official business this summer. This week on Official Business, we meet an Osseo man who watched and coached his kids as they grew up playing various sports. After they were grown up, he decided he wanted to get back into the game, and he's found a home as a lacrosse official.
Sportsmanship and safety is what guides us. We hope that it guides you, and we want you out here playing rather than on the sideline.
Bruce Staria got his start wearing the stripes in another sport.
I began officiating as a football official, and my first year was the first year that the State High School League had the lacrosse be a sport for them, and they were looking for other officials, and an email was sent out, and I answered the email and showed up at one of the information gatherings and moved on to training, and here I am 9 years later. Hold the line, sir.
While some officials prefer to make their calls and keep their distance from players and coaches, Bruce says he's a talker.
I really enjoy the interaction between the athletes and myself. I get talking to them, show them that we're not just there to make calls, but we're right there with them, a part of the game, a part of the enjoyment of the game.
Stay off the body, guys! One thing that Staria is excited about in lacrosse, seeing young coaches who were players themselves not long ago.
The folks that first started, the students, now they've gone to college and now they're coming back to coach and build the program, and these younger players are much more better at their skill levels.
A piece of advice Bruce Staria has for anyone considering officiating: it's never too late to try it.
I've been in it 9 years, and I just look back to how many years that I wish that I would have been involved in it sooner. But getting involved in it when I did and giving back to the community is very important to me, and help mold and teach young athletes is really something that I enjoy every day out here. Touch!
Bruce says he'll work as many as 6 games per week when the high school season rolls around next spring. So lacrosse officials definitely in demand.
Yeah, busy schedule the guy has too.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Jay.
You bet.
Still ahead, a junior high student has his sights set on a big goal.
We'll show you how his dedication to Taekwondo is putting him on a big stage.
Welcome back. When Ethan Robinson becomes a freshman at Osseo High School this fall, he can credit an ancient discipline for his focus and determination.
The straight-A student is making a name for himself in the world of Taekwondo. Sonia Goen shows us how his hard work and determination are paying off.
World Taekwondo in Rogers is where you'll find young athletes training. The ancient Korean martial art form focuses on kicks.
I just love the fighting and the combat, the impact in the sport. That's what I love about it the most, but not just that, but the art of it too.
Ethan Robinson is a familiar face in the gym.
We're all one team and one family.
He's trained in the sport since he was 6 years old.
Because I'm a second-degree black belt. You have to go through 3 sections that take 6 months each.
While Taekwondo is aggressive, Ethan says he also likes the discipline and character-building aspect of the sport.
And I've been learning to give back to others, like helping with the little kids, helping with adult classes.
Ethan is very dedicated. He trains 6 days a week. He says he used to be quiet, but as you can see, he quickly got over that shyness.
Definitely have to be strong when you're out there by yourself, because if you're not strong, your opponent knows they have got you already.
His powerful kicks and graceful moves have earned him some major recognition.
I'm a 2-time U.S. National Cadet team member now.
He was first place at the U.S. Taekwondo Nationals this year.
I still remember when he was a color belt, a little pudgy and not always so confident, but after a couple years of hard work and dedication, he's really taken to it, and I think the world of him, and the sky's the limit.
His instructor, Matt Lee, is not surprised by Ethan's accomplishments.
This has been years of dedication, perseverance, and his willingness to learn.
Ethan is eyeing the 2020 Olympics, and he wants to promote the art of Taekwondo to the world.
I really do believe more work, more effort, and the more I have fun with this, I can make it to the Olympics.
In Rogers, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Wow, Ethan is representing the U.S. in the World Championship Games in South Korea, and he makes that look easy.
Note to self, do not mess with someone who knows Taekwondo.
With a black belt, yeah.
Exactly.
That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Have a nice weekend, and we'll see you on Monday at 4 o'clock.